What's up, everybody, and welcome to the very last Just Another Day in Paradise for the year. I'm your co host, Stupid Steve. She's Tanya with a J. Say what's up, girl.
What up?
And welcome to our wonderful show. Thank you guys for joining us wherever you are and however you are accessing Just Another Day in Paradise. We appreciate you. So, last show of the year. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We got the year in review. We're going to end on a positive note. We're going to do our New Year's resolutions. Hopefully, we can hear some of your New Year's resolutions as well. We're going to do, Tanya's got some funny New Year's resolutions pulled up here that we're going to do. And we're probably going to get into celebrity birthdays as well. There's a couple on there. I don't know if we'll get into it. If we have time, we will. Thank you guys for joining the live studio and Podbean. And thank you guys for joining us on Facebook Live and YouTube and all of that good stuff. We really appreciate having you guys. And I am checking the comments. If you'd like to comment your New Year's resolution on Facebook Live, feel free. If you'd like to comment here on Podbean, feel free as well. We would also like to take time out of our busy day before we start the show to let you know that our show is brought to you by Pools by Paul. You can check out Pools by Paul by going to www.poolsbypaul.net. That's www.poolsbypaul.net. Check out all their lovely and wonderful work. Winter is coming. Get your pools covered. Your stimulus checks are coming. Spend them on that dream pool that you have always wanted by contacting Pools by Paul. You can check him out on Facebook at Pools by Paul 513, or you can go to his website, www.poolsbypaul.net, and check out the wonderful pools that they have built. Look at this craftsmanship. Those are beautiful swimming pools. And next summer, you might still be locked down. We might still be under coronavirus restrictions. You might still be spending your summer at home. You will most likely not be in public pools. So if you want to get that pool built, now's the time when the government sends you your socialist check. I mean, yeah. Now, that was funny yesterday because I didn't mean to say that. But when you get your little stimulus check and you went, hey, maybe you want to invest it into a new pool, contact these guys. Pools by Paul 513 on Facebook and www.poolsbypaul.net for all of your pool building needs. Check them out. Pools by Paul. Okay, year in review. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll get into it. Thank you guys for joining us on Facebook Live. We are paying attention to the comments. If you guys are joining us there, YouTube, you're probably not going to get us. I don't know. I mean, I could log on to YouTube, but the comments are so delayed. I'm just going to try to keep up with. I have a problem keeping up with comments, anyways. We did a pretty good job yesterday, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into it. Year in review. I pulled up a really good step by step from January all the way with visuals and everything. I found a really good website and it's called, I don't even know what it's called, Markets, I guess, visualcapitalist.com. So I'm going to get into this, and it's just all bad. It's a lot of bad shit.
That's how it was when I was watching the show. The guy doing it.
God, it's like crazy. It's just, everything is just awful. Everything. Well, I'm going to try to put a positive spin on it. The one big takeaway that I got from all this is people suffer and large corporations and businesses are flourishing.
Mm-hmm.
As you'll see as I go throughout all of this little presentation here, this year in review, 2020's year in review, you will see how much, big, large corporations are flourishing and profiting and how much we are suffering. That's the biggest takeaway I got from this when I was reviewing it this morning. So we start with the Australian brush fires. You remember the Australian brush fires?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an afterthought, but these brush fires were huge and it consumed Australia. So for some in the Southern Hemisphere who ushered in a New Year's first, it started on fire. Let's see here, 18.6 million 186,000 kilometers by March, bigger than the total landmass of an entire countries like Cuba was on fire. So here's a graph of the damage that was done. To kind of in comparison to all the other fires, 1990, 2000, 2010, and then 2020, when, let's see here, it's faced the highest temperatures and the lowest rainfall levels recorded in history. So That's what they said led up to it, the brush fire season. Australia is faced with the highest temperatures and the lowest rainfall levels in recorded history. While brush fires are common in Australia this year, dry condition fueled the flames. The fires ranged for nearly 80 days, displacing or killing nearly 300 billion animals, a devastating biodiversity loss for the country.
That's so sad.
That's how we bring in the year last year. That was kind of like 2020 in a nutshell, I guess you could say. Then we had the Iran-U.S. tensions. Remember that? Remember World War III? Trump was going to get us into World War III.
Yeah.
Remember all that talk? So in early January, a U.S. airstrike incinerated a car with General Qasem Soleimani, a security mastermind and one of Iran's most powerful military strategists. U.S. officials claimed that Iran was planning an imminent attack. In retaliation, Iran fired 2 rockets at a U.S. military bases located in Iraq. No one was killed. As tensions escalated, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill trying to restrict President Trump's use of military power against Iran without approval. Lo and behold, though, Trump never got us into a war. They don't mention that in this story. Later in mid-January, Iran's Revolutionary Guard admitted that it mistakenly shot down a Ukrainian passenger jet responsible for the death of 176 people. Do you remember that? We covered that on this show. I might have done that show by myself, though. I don't know.
I feel like I remember it a little bit.
When they accidentally shot down the passenger flight, the Ukrainian passenger flight, and killed all those people. They say it was an accident. Like they said, it crashed at first, and then the reports started coming in. They shot it down. But yeah. So the Iran-U.S. tensions, which nothing ever happened, right? Like I thought it was perfect. They got the guy they wanted to get. They got the guy who was responsible for the deaths of thousands of American soldiers. No war happened, and we got out of there. I mean, that's, I don't know. But that happened. That happened. I remember all that. I remember everybody's freaking out, thought we was going into World War III. Like something was crazy. What's up, Mr. A? Thank you for joining the live studio. Thank you, Tanya, for sharing the show. We appreciate you coming in. And thank you guys for watching us on Facebook Live. We are paying attention, just so you know. The spread of the coronavirus. In comes the coronavirus, March 2020. So we have made it through 2 months. We've almost had World War III. Australia's on fire. And now we are into the spread of the coronavirus. You've heard of patient 0, but what about patient 31? Before February, cases of the still unnamed virus were largely contained within China, with the rest of the world cautiously observing the country's containment efforts. Slowly but surely, the virus began to spread beyond China's borders. South Korea's 31st confirmed COVID-19 case, which was behind the rapid spread of the virus, potentially up to 1,160 contacts in the country, served as a warning for the rest of the world how fast the virus could spread. And then they do this really neat little chart with all these little people, little peg people from the game of life. Reuters' unique graphic explainer uncovers just how typical a day of normal interactions had significant super spreader effects. Yeah, we get it. It spreads. This is what viruses do, but okay. Yeah, so you can just spread it. Obviously, you can spread it around from people to people. I don't know. So moving on, March, and this is also in March, the coronavirus crash. Now, this is when it starts to get interesting. This is when you start to notice how much we were suffering and how much some businesses were suffering, but then everything drops. I'll get to the point in a second, but everything basically drops down. Everything is really cheap, and that's what they do they don't never waste a good crisis, right? You never let a good crisis go to waste. So when it drives the cost down of everything, when everything starts to go bankrupt, everything starts to lose a lot of profit, your Soroses and your Rockefellers and your Rothschilds, they swoop in and they buy up as much stock as they can, and then they bring it back up. And it's interesting, okay? So the coronavirus crashed. The S&P 500 erased over a third of its value in under a month. Now remember, before coronavirus, our economy was booming. People was making better money than they ever had before. The unemployment rate was an all-time low. We was killing it. So it's the fastest 30% decline ever recorded on the benchmarks index. As a result, the global tourism industry suffered dramatic losses, with countless cruise ships docked and passenger flights traveling at half capacity. This messed up your trip.
Yep.
This completely ruined you was going to go to Germany.
I just seen that in my memories. It says something like, guess who gets to go to Germany for her birthday?
Right. And you was going to be over there in the summertime during June, and this this halted your trip to Germany, and that's sucky. But I mean, here we are. So I mean, we're past it now, but we're the year in review. Let's review this awful year. So the Marriott lost 48%. They were down from $48 billion to $25 billion. 44% for Live Nation Entertainment. Let's see here. Norwegian Cruise Line went down 72%. They was worth $11 billion. They dropped down to $3 billion. Delta Airlines dropped 52%. Six Flags Entertainment went down 66%. So, I mean, a major hit among the vacationing market. And then the lockdown life began. This is also in March. March was a fucked up year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So lockdown life begins in March.
I drank a lot of wine.
Drank a lot of wine, didn't we? You did. There was literally nothing to do. Like it was so awful when this shit started. Like I was at the time I was killing it at the gym. Probably the best shape I ever been. And life was good. Like I was working, like, you know, everything was cool. Like we was coming up on the end of the school year, things like that, everything. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it was just so fast, right? Like everything's cool on a Monday, and then Friday, everything's shut down. Like that's literally how it went.
It is.
Like all of a sudden, like just like that, at the snap of the fingers, we submitted ourselves to completely socialist rule. Just like that. Just like that. And I often say I understand the first one because we didn't understand the coronavirus, blah, 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 blah. But man, if I could go back in time and do all this over again, I know there's nothing I could have done, but goodness gracious, it was awful. It was kind of creepy. Remember going to the grocery store and there was nothing on the shelves?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. You was sending me pictures because I don't know, man. I just never have. And I'm sorry, I've never have taken this seriously. From the moment I heard that this was going on in China, in the midst of them protesting and rioting, the people was upset. I immediately took this. I knew what this was from the get-go. And I didn't really take it seriously. And then when you're at the grocery store, you're sending me pictures and the meat is completely gone. There is absolutely no toilet paper. Mm-hmm. It looked like the end of the world. The apocalypse was happening.
I still hate going to the store now.
I hate going to the store too, just the whole mask aspect of it and everything else. But I remember you was freaking out too. You was sending pictures like, "Oh my God, look at this! It's the end of the world." Like there was no meat, there was no nothing. Like everything was bought up. It was crazy. So from toilet paper hoarding to limits on gatherings, the pandemic's immediate effects on our surrounding environment became clear as early as March. As daily life came to a standstill, commuter activity in major cities plummeted throughout the month. Look at these charts. Look, this was, I guess, commuter activity. And then it just, nobody going anywhere. Lockdown, complete and utter lockdown. That's crazy. One unintended positive consequence of these shutdowns was air pollution, such as nitrogen dioxide emissions, also steadily dropped alongside these restrictions on movement. Obviously, because people aren't out driving their cars, everybody was locked in their fucking homes, unable to do anything. Like, literally couldn't do anything. It was the worst. And it was awful. Possibly the most well-known diagram of the pandemic is the one that introduced the world to the phrase flatten the curve, showing why it's important to prevent the daily spread of the virus that large portions of the population aren't sick at the same time. Remember 15 days to flatten the curve? Mm-hmm. Well, we're going into the next year now. 15 days to flatten the curve. It was the rest, dude, I sat in my house from fucking March until August.
Mm-hmm. I know, we didn't do a lot of shit that we normally do.
Nothing. Unemployed. Why do you see the unemployment rate? I'm about to get to that stuff, but this is the little flatten the curve thing. And I kind of look at this and I wonder why didn't we just do it without no measures? Because we're seeing countries that didn't do anything now completely recover. Right? The Netherlands are almost completely recovered. They didn't do anything. Finland, Norway, Sweden, they hardly did any lockdowns whatsoever. It was all by choice. If you wanted to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you wanted to shut down, shut down. But life is normal over here. And we're seeing them get back to normal life. And this chart, this shows you, right? So without no measures shown, and this is from the CDC, it says it right there. Without measures to slow the rate of infections, we would have had a much larger number of cases. It would have peaked really, really high. And this is how normal viruses do. This is exactly what swine flu did. Okay? If you don't do anything, because we didn't do anything for swine flu, we didn't wear masks, we didn't lock down, anything like that. It peaks really, really high, and then it dies really, really quick because we gain immunity. Because people gain immunity, life goes back to normal, everything's fine. I would rather have that. Okay, than this slow, drawn-out death that is what we've done, and this is measures to take and slow the rate of infection. As you can see, it takes a much longer time. But I would say because we did everything that we did, it hurt us much, much more. Instead of just going through it and getting through it like we always have throughout history, we took these dramatic steps, right? Locked everybody in their house, kept everybody away from everybody for like months and months. And then when everybody started coming out of their houses, we had the inevitable second wave that they talked about. Right. And that's why we're here now. That's why we're still dragging this shit out. Instead of just bearing our heads down and getting through it, we drew it out as long as possible. And that was by design, if you ask me. And now we're going through the second wave of it. We could have been through this shit if we would have dealt with it. If we would have been life as normal, just deal with whatever happens, we would have been fine. We now know it has a 99.7% survival rate anyways. So I think we took the wrong path here by locking everybody else and shutting them in their house and everything else, because throughout history, if any outbreaks have shown us anything, is that if we just go about life as normal, it's going to spike, it's going to get really bad, and then it's going to go away much faster because we're going to build an immunity to it. Society is going to, be able to get through it, whatever, and then we'll move on with our lives much quicker. We chose the long, drawn out death. Whatever. So here we are. Moving on. This is the historic U.S. job losses, and I was definitely in this, and most people was, because after the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 as a global pandemic on March 11th, unemployment figures soon hit historic proportions. Within a month, 22 million in the U.S. had filed jobless claims. I was of that 22 million. And then it says more U.S. jobs were lost in the last month than the equivalent of populations in the entire countries. So during that month of March, there was more people unemployed in America than entire populations. More than the population of Chile, more than the population of Australia, more than the population of Taiwan. That's how many people were unemployed in America. Insane. Okay, I mean, look at the historical average has been like 0.2, 0.3. We jumped up to 6.9 million people within a week. Okay, so the month of March, we had 22 million people in America unemployed. I was one of those 22 million. It was not fun.
It was not fun.
It was not fun. Not at all. And we would have been in bad shape. We would have been buried if it wasn't have been for the Germany money. The trip that you were supposed to take to Germany, that we put that money aside for you to go. And that's what got us through the summer, because I couldn't get unemployment.
Right.
Because there various mistakes and things that were made. It was a pain in the ass. It sucked. It definitely sucked. And it all worked out in the end, but So the stimulus package was announced in the U.S. Now, like I said, it's going to get very interesting, okay, when I start showing you some of these diagrams of who was making money and who wasn't and how the stimulus package worked. On March 27th, the $2 trillion CARES Act came into law after facing minimal resistance from the House and Senate. We broke down an historic relief package in the Sankey diagram below. So individuals got 30%, $600 billion. Large corporations got $500 billion. For what? I have no idea, but these are loans for corporations. Large corporations got $500 billion. Small businesses got $377 billion, or 19% of the stimulus package. State and local governments got 17%. For what? $339 billion to state and local governments so they can enforce their socialist rule. Public services got 9% of the money, $179 billion. The relief package included $1,200 direct payments to individuals and over $350 billion in relief for small businesses and in excess of $100 billion for the U.S. health system. So there's your graph right there. It was nice, though, to get that money. I mean, because we were suffering. But that's the whole idea of the socialist rule. We're going to give you your money back and you know, you're going to have us. You're going to have to need us because you ain't going to be able to do it by yourself. Oil prices go negative. And another historic event, oil prices went negative for the first time in history. Futures contracts for WTI oil fell to a stunning negative $37.63 on April 20th, with producers actually paying traders to take oil off their hands. This is when it starts to really take a turn and I start to notice things, okay? So in February, China began turning away oil tankers as lockdown intensifies. OPEC talks collapse. Russia walks away from negotiations. Saudi Arabia offers $6 to $8 price discounts to customers per barrel for customers in Europe, Asia, and the U.S. The WHO declares COVID-19 a pandemic, and then Saudi Arabia and Russia finally agree on cuts, but it's too late. Oil prices hit their lowest point since the 1990s. This is when your George Soroses, your Rockefellers, your Rothschilds, all your famous, notorious trillionaires swoop in and buy this stuff up. So oil crashes, okay? People are paying other people to take the oil off their hands. They're like, get this shit, it's crashing, okay? It quickly builds back up, but this is what they do. They tear down your economy, they buy it low, and then they sell it high. How did they sell it high? I'm going to show you here in 1 second. So with the world lockdown on oil, let's see here. So everybody's buying up a lot of oil, okay? Oil since recovered from its shock, cruising back to more typical price levels. Of course they have, but oil did crash, and it was actually in the negative for the first time in history. And traders, producers of oil were paying traders to take oil off their hands. They were giving it away to people. And those people that were swooping in and buying are very rich and powerful people. They know exactly what they're doing. Then the Black Lives Matter protest, of course, happens, destabilize the nation. Let's get people divided. Let's get people not paying attention to the fact that their economy is crashing. You're unemployed. You have no job. You have nowhere to turn. And we are getting ridiculously rich off of it. Ridiculously rich off of it. And we're about to get richer because the help that you thought that you got, the reason we thought we sent you money because you were struggling, we're about to fucking get all of that back. So the Black Lives Matter protest happened all over the United States, destabilizing the United States and getting people to not pay attention to what's really going on. The world starts to work from home, and a dramatic shift to staying at home has resulted in a much higher reliance on technology for many people. Nowhere in these trends amplified more than the rise of video conferencing software, Zoom, a platform that was used for work, education, and socializing alike. And I think I pulled it down, but I want to pull it back up again. There it is. I'm going to pull this back again. Eric Yuan is the owner of Zoom. The Yuan family is to China what the Rockefellers are to the U.S. They're one of the 13 bloodlines, okay, which we talked about on Penny for Your Thoughts. These are the rich and the elite, powerful people that control the world, and they pull all the strings. So Eric Yuan is one of the 13 bloodlines. He is Rockefeller to U.S. He is the Rothschilds to Europe. He is the Soroses to Spain and those countries, and to the U.S. as well. But that's who this guy is that owns Zoom. So his profits increased quite a bit all of a sudden within the snap of a finger because everybody had to rely on big tech. Everybody had to rely on conference calling, right?
Schools,
you did.
Everything.
You do now. Guess who's making tons of money? Facebook, Twitter, Zoom, and then all of these companies. You can Southwest Airlines, Delta, United, all these different companies that have seen a huge increase in profits and things like that, especially like big tech. They're all owned by these very, very large, rich and powerful people. Okay, so this is why it's so promoted in your face all the time that you must lock in it. I mean, it's all part of a plan, and it's painfully obvious as I go through all this stuff. So Zoom daily users went from about 10 million daily users in 2019 December to 200 in March, 200 million in March, and 300 million by April. And I guarantee you that number is way, way more now.
Right. That's how I met Aaliyah's teacher.
Right. Through Zoom call.
I've never even met her in person.
Everybody is doing Zoom calls, and everybody is out there doing, everybody has Zoom now. Everybody. So huge, huge money made for, these elitists and big tech. And then it has top benefits for remote working. Okay, I'm just going to skip through all that. Okay. Tesla becomes world's most valuable automaker. This is kind of a blip to me, I guess. I mean, Silicon Valley, Elon Musk, I mean, yeah, they're all rich. We get it. And during this entire pandemic, as we suffered, all these very large corporations flourished and made lots and lots and lots of money. Let's get to big tech's dominance. In many ways, COVID-19 only attenuated differences in market share, earnings, and wealth. For one, big tech's market cap share of the S&P 500 soared. In the 7 years preceding July, the market cap of the 6 stocks, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Alphabet, and Microsoft, grew by over 500%. 500% is what it grew. And look at the spike in 2020. Okay, there was a huge drop, and then all of a sudden, boom, 500% spike. As soon as we locked into our houses.
Yep.
And you know what you see? These stocks, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Alphabet, and Microsoft, through the roof. Is what money is just soaring. This is how socialist economies work. Okay, large corporations flourish and take over the world, and they give you whatever they feel like you're worth. And right now, they feel like you're worth $600.
Right.
You get more government, you get more powerful people in control. They control every aspect of everything. The Buret explosion happened. I'm not going to get into that too much. I'm going to move on. That was the big explosion that happened in I don't know, and overseas. I mean, there was some conspiracy surrounded around it or whatever, but I'm not going to get into it. So the shortest bear market history ends. This is kind of like a cherry on top to what I've been talking about. In a stunning reversal, the bear market of 2020 ended on August 18th. When the S&P 500 exceeded previous February highs, as trillions of dollars in stimulus response got injected into global economies, markets recovered in record time. So that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. They crash your economy, they crash your society, they destabilize everything. They buy as much as they can, low as they possibly can, right? They buy it all up. They buy as much stock as they possibly can. They were getting oil they were basically giving it away. Then they give you $1,200 of your tax dollars, and then you turn around and give it right back to them, building the economy back up and making them rich in the process. Amazon went crazy. Facebook went crazy. Twitter went crazy. Shopping was at it. It basically built up the economy. So they crashed it all. 57% drops. Black Tuesday. Oh, that was the great track. Okay, so the COVID-19 crash was a 34% drop, right? And then they built the economy back up through your stimulus dollars as you gave them your money right back to them and made them richer than they ever have been before. They bought low and then they're going to sell it high. And now they're going to do it again as we go through the second cycle of this, because we're about to be going through the second cycle of this. So that's how it works. That's what they do. They've done this throughout history. And if you guys want to check out our show, Penny on Penny for Your Thoughts with the Rothschilds, we talk about this in detail. This has been going on since the 1700s. It's a never-ending cycle. It's why people like me look at COVID-19 and immediately laugh, because I know exactly what it is and I know exactly what they're doing. You have to understand this. Okay? This money that they're sending you, you're going to give it right back to them. They're going to make it they're sending you your tax dollars and you're giving it to corporations. When I talk about a lot on this show, when everything else was shut down, what was open? Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these large corporations, you could get on Amazon. Amazon has soared, I mean, trillions of dollars. The dude is worth trillions now. And then they'll go out and they'll tell you to socially distance, stay at home, don't go to work. Small businesses are getting smothered. They can't open up. People are losing their jobs left and right. Unemployment is at an all-time high. Like, we're suffering here.
Right, and $600 is not about to help them.
And they give you $600, like $600 per person. So families are going to get like whatever, $2,500 checks or $3,000 checks, whatever. But we're basically going to give it right back to them because we're trying to. It doesn't matter what you pay. If you pay your mortgage, you're giving it back to the bank. If you pay your it doesn't matter. Your electric bill is if it's behind, Duke Energy or whatever, the energy company's going to get it. The corporations are getting your money. Your money. It's your tax dollars. They're sending you your tax dollars, and then you're in turn giving it back to the corporations, making them flourish because they crashed the economy. They bought everything up, and now they're going to make big money off of it. It sucks. It sucks, and it sucks even worse that people don't pay attention and see. Like, pay attention. Pay attention. Please. Goodness gracious. Remember the wildfires? They were just happening in August. So, yeah, that was, I mean, the whole West Coast was on fire.
Wildfires were happening, and then the hurricanes were hitting.
Yep.
It was like one side of the world was on fire, and the other was underwater.
Yeah, and then there was some conspiracy around these wildfires. I never got into it, but the beams of light that was shooting down through the sky, the trees that were burning inside out, was really weird. I think it's part of making way for Agenda 21, but I'm not going to go down that path today. Agenda 21 is definitely a show for another day. We've gotten into it before. Then the 2020 election, U.S. presidential elections happened. That was fun.
I was about to say that was fun.
That was fun. And I called this. I just like to go out on a limb here and kind of puff my chest out and pat myself on the back because I told y'all I was going to look like Donald Trump was winning this thing in a landslide, and then you was going to wake up the next day and through mail-in balloting, Joe Biden was going to be the president. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And still, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on with voting fraud and voting machines and everybody talking about that stuff. But who knows? I don't know. I'm glad it's over. I'm just glad it's over. They got me all worked up before the elections. I came to a realization like about a month or so before the elections that there's not a damn thing I can do about it anyway. I go cast my ballot. That's all I can do. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't even think that matters at this point anymore. I mean, they're already talking about they'll never see another election. You know, they're just setting it up to where we can only have a one-party system now. It's kind of like we're defeated in that aspect. I don't know. I'm sure in 4 years they'll ramp up their rallies and their protests, and they'll do something. So, you know, it's a never-ending process. Hopefully, I can just make you understand how it works, and you guys can see it. Hopefully, this time in 4 years, we'll still be doing the show, and I can say, "Hey, here we are, 4 years later, same old shit, different, you know, same old song and dance." Because it will be every 4 years, it's the same old song and dance. So
that'd be crazy.
Oh, it will be crazy. COVID-19's third wave, like history tells us, pandemics come in waves.
Why did that just blow up like that?
It's pretty freaky looking,
weird.
ain't it? Pretty wild looking. On November 8th, the 7th-day average new daily cases hits 100,000 in America, and at the end of November, global cases soared to 60 million. Like,
that shit looks like an infection.
I can't even believe these numbers anymore. Like, I can't believe these numbers anymore. I just can't. I just cannot buy into what they're doing. Like I said earlier in the earlier graph, and I don't know if I want to keep looking at this one because it's creeping me out. When you lock yourself in a home all summer long and you come out, and the infection doesn't die, it's going to start spreading again. And we chose the slow death route instead of just going life is normal. We see in countries who did not lock down their countries, they are life is normal now. Like, it's fine. if we wouldn't have locked down like we did, put everybody in a house for all summer long, and then released them out into the wild, and then people started interacting again, and then it started spreading again. It's like, it's so obvious. That's how viruses work. It's so obvious. We should have just been life as normal. We didn't do this shit for swine flu, and I think that they're lying about a lot of this shit, a lot of these numbers. I actually seen a report today that some governors around the United States are wanting audits on these COVID-19 cases and deaths. They want to audit the deaths and they want to see each one of these. And I was thinking, wow, why wasn't they doing that from the beginning? Did this guy die of cancer or COVID-19? I don't know. Why wasn't they auditing and trying to find out the real numbers since the get-go? And thank you for everybody who's joining the live studio. I'm not paying attention, but you are waving at people, am I correct?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate you being in the live studio today. So to move on past this graphic, the second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, it don't matter. It's just going to keep going on and on and on. Now they're talking about there's a new strand in Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm. That sounds fun.
They're never going to stop. They're never going to stop with this shit until people stand up and say, okay, we've had enough.
Right.
All right. Just keep in mind, citizens of America and the world, we outnumber them. I don't know why we submit to their bullshit. And more because for safety, because people are scared for their lives. I guess that's why. Fear. Mm-hmm. That's why. Global vaccination efforts kick off. In more recent news, Pfizer made waves when it announced it was rolling out a 95% effective COVID-19 vaccine in under a year, by the way.
Right, and now look what it's doing.
And then Moderna is 94.5% mid-November. 80 publicly disclosed distributions for deals representing 7.95 billion vaccine doses. However, even with viable vaccine, challenges still exist all around the world. Perceptions of vaccine safety have dropped significantly, which may complicate an economic recovery. People do not trust the vaccine. If the vaccine with COVID-19 were available, I would get it. Percentage and agreement. So 90 to 100% people in China agree that they would get a vaccine if it was available. Look at the U.S. It's way down here. Most people, I don't trust this vaccine. I'm not getting it, especially because we know what's going on with people.
Yeah.
We see people's faces going numb. And we talked about this yesterday with Bell's palsy and all these other complications, people passing out and shit, people having all kinds of issues. I'm not getting no vaccine made in under a year. I don't get vaccines for shit anyway. I have a God-given immunity system. I'll roll with the punches. If it's my time, it's my time. I'm not getting pumped and full of some toxic, I don't even know what's in it, made by some big pharmaceutical company that's making people's faces go droopy and numb, and they don't even know if they're having a stroke or Bell's palsy. People passing out, people having breathing difficulties from it.
Right, but it's all normal.
It's all just normal side effects. It's normal side effects.
It'll pass in a couple days.
Well, it's like the commercials that you see all the time. Like if you have HIV, AIDS, you could take this medicine. And then it says side effects may include vomiting, nausea, blood spewing from your nostrils. And they'll be like, I'd rather just live with the problem than take the medicine with the side effects that could make me cause, explosive diarrhea and bleeding eyeballs. God damn. But whatever. To each its own. If you want to get the vaccine, you get the vaccine. Go ahead. Most of the people I know that's gotten it have regretted it. I'm just going to say that. Mm-hmm. So let's see here, in the first half of the year. So on to the next one, it says. After the wild ride that was 2020, many people are wondering what 2021 will have in store. In the first half of the year, vaccine distribution will surely take center stage, as well as economic recovery will be in a focus of physical business resume, more typical activity, and regions slowly open up travel and tourism again. Much like the financial crisis of 2008 was an inflection point for the economy, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the course of human history. It surely has. Chaos can breed opportunity. And even through unemployment spiked to record highs in the U.S., new business applications did as well. Will things return to normal? As that many twists and turns of the past year demonstrated, our complex, interconnected world is far from static. the next black swan is just always around the corner. Thanks a lot. Will it return to normal ever? Do you think we'll return to normal in 2021?
Nope.
I think 2021 is going to be.
My year. It's like, no.
I don't want to say it's going to be a monumentally bad year, but I'm very nervous about
We're
what
about
happens.
to find out.
I'm very nervous about what happens in 2021 when what's up, Revel Win? Thanks for entering the studio. When Democrats take office, I'm very interested and nervous to know what's going to happen when Joe Biden takes office for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And when these vaccines, and we're going to start see the numbers are still spiking, and I just feel like it's never going to end. I don't know. I hope it ends. I hope we can go back to normal everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
You think? I'm going into 2021 with positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's own this year, right? Let's try to own this year.
It's hard to think that way because it seems like they want to keep it going. And like you just read, the first part of this new year we're going into is vaccine distributing. Like,
yeah. And you're going to start to not be able to go and get on an airplane without a vaccine. And I'm afraid it's going to start turning into, if you need a major surgery, they're going to make sure you have your vaccine, and they're going to start forcing this onto people, and hopefully not. I'm just ready to stop with the whole tracking thing of the COVID stuff and trying to, just quarantining everybody. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, let's just give it up already. And I'm very nervous to know what their plan is with this new mutated strand of COVID-19 that they're saying is now in America. Conveniently, it's in the UK and America. Two of the most,
that might be their way of the mandatory.
Or their road to
just
more
completely out of control. It's
their
mutating.
road to just more restrictions and more control, because they're loving this shit.
Yeah, all that. That's what that means. All of that.
But I mean, how much more can the people take before they start to just absolutely revolt? We're seeing evidence of revolt of people, rising up against this stuff all across the United States. You see it every day. You see a new video of somebody saying enough. I mean, how much longer is it going to take before some organized, level-headed people get together and they start attacking this thing the right way? And I'm not talking about storming anything with like militia or anything. I'm talking about going into courts and really going after and seizing back some of the control that the United States government has taken. These crazy unconstitutional steps that they've taken within kind of seizing our freedom. I feel like we're living in a socialist utopia. Like they control everything. They're shutting down every small business. Like, everybody's struggling. They're giving you what they believe you're worth, or whatever the hell they want to give you. $600. Like, here's your $600. People are still struggling, and there's so many laws and restrictions on so many things that we're paying money for, like schools, like police departments, like laws, like whatever. Like it's. They're sending us our tax money back, and it's just crazy how much control they have seized over us. And can it continue? I believe it's going to get much worse when Joe Biden takes office. They bought all that oil up at basically nothing, and when oil reaches $5 a gallon, because his war on fracking is going to make oil go through the roof, we'll get ready to pay $4.50, $5 a gallon for gas every day, and your groceries are going to go up because shipping is going to cost more. I know y'all remember those Obama years when this was going on, when your milk was $3.50 a gallon, and the cost of inflation, and who had to deal with that inflation. They've crashed our economy. They bought everything low, and now they're going to inflate everything, and then we're going to have to pay those prices, and we're going to suffer because of it. Why?
He just want to listen to me and turn his alarm off. So here we are every day with the alarm. It's 1:15, by the way.
I don't know why the alarm's still on. What am I doing with my life?
I don't know.
I can't never figure that alarm out. Like it never pops in my mind to do that, to get that alarm off. Look, I'm sitting here watching myself stand
I
up.
think every day this week you have left the show to
Every
the
day,
alarm.
1:15. That means it's time to move on and get into the positives. Are you ready to move on and get into the positives?
Yep.
We're going to make 2021 our bitch.
Oh,
Now, we are going to try to put a positive spin on everything, and it starts tonight, and we're going to go into the new year, and we got all these projects, and I got things to go on and everything else. And
we're going to go into the new year drunk.
yes, and it's been a long time coming because I haven't drank in a while.
I saw this thing yesterday. It said 2020's fixing to turn 21.
Yep. I mean, we're into the 21st century, baby. Bringing in the new year with a bang.
Yeah. Hold my beer.
Thank you for keeping up with everybody coming into the live studio. Really appreciate y'all coming in and joining us and stuff. So New Year's resolution time. Okay, you got some funny ones. I want you to read your funny New Year's resolutions before we get into our New Year's resolutions. Yes. So you have some funny ones that you pulled up, and this is going to be, I guess, some Tanya time right here. So funny New Year's resolutions. So you got all this stuff pulled up?
Some of it, yeah.
I have my New Year's resolution ready. Do you?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, so let's do the funny ones first.
I don't really do that.
What do you got?
Well, this one's great. It says, my New Year's resolution is to stop hanging out with people who ask me about my New Year's resolution.
No, because you're hanging around positive people if they're asking you about your New Year's resolution. If they're asking you what your New Year's resolution is, that means they're positive and they are wanting you to be successful in 2021.
These are some funny resolutions. This one says, my New Year's resolution is to eat until I'm no longer cold. It's like kind of stupid, but this one says relearn social cues after a year at home.
Relearn.
Go outside among people.
Amongst people. That's a good New Year's resolution.
Says buy all leftover 2020 calendars and burn them. Live my best life and only buy pants with no buttons or zippers. You know what that means?
Elastic?
Do you get it?
No.
Like yoga pants.
Ah. I'm with that. What else?
It says tattoo new year, new me on my arm.
I'm going to get a tattoo on my butt cheek. New year, new me.
Unfriend every person who shares their unsolicited diet or exercise regimen. You know, because everybody goes to the gym and shit. It's the first of the year. Blah, blah, blah.
I know, and I'm guilty of this, of posting progress, but there's nothing wrong with posting progress or diets or losing weight. Like when you are trying to be successful at something and you are pushing, you should share that success with other people, and you never know what it might motivate somebody to do something good for themselves. I'm guilty of posting progress pictures and losing weight because it's very, very awesome to do those things. And I think all people should promote themselves. It's important. It's good for your self-confidence.
This one says, keep kicking ass and taking names because detailed record keeping is important.
It is. Very, very important.
This one says, do so much yoga that it actually justifies wearing yoga pants 24/7.
That's a good resolution. Are you going to do yoga this year?
That one's mine.
You're going to do yoga? You're not going to do no damn
shit.
yoga. Yoga is very difficult. It's actually much harder than you would think it was. Tanya said shots, 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 shots. It's going to be a good night tonight. I don't know if anybody else is out there partying that's listening in the live studio or whatever, but it'll be a fun night tonight.
This one says stop making lists and then eat more tacos.
Stop making lists?
Lists, yeah.
I can never stop doing that. I have list upon list in my journal over there.
This one says eat more tacos.
I'm okay with that. I like tacos.
This one says stay in the bathroom while I brush my teeth. I do.
I don't. I often come out of the bathroom while brushing my teeth. I go to the kitchen sink because there's much more space. There's much more room for error.
Really?
I brush my teeth extremely hard. What's your
The
New Year's
last
resolution?
one says stop making resolutions.
No, we're making resolutions. We have to go into 2021 with some type of resolution.
You know what? Mine is to stop breaking bones.
That's your New
I am
Year's resolution?
sick of this shit.
Stop breaking bones?
Yeah, man.
How many bones have you broken in 2020?
2.
You need to take calcium.
Maybe 3.
And you
think
need to
2.
drink milk.
Yep.
That's your problem. You have no calcium. You have no calcium in your body. You need to start taking calcium pills or drinking milk or doing some type of calcium supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your for real New Year's resolution? Is don't?
I'm going to definitely try not to break any more bones the rest of my life.
That's a whack New Year's resolution. What's your guys' New Year's resolutions out there? I know mine is, and I thought about this because I have a lot of goals for
I
this
would like
show.
to eat better, for sure. Maybe less fast food and shit like that.
Yeah. That's part of mine or whatever. Like I have a lot of shit I want to accomplish here on this show, and but I don't really want to put that on.
More tacos.
Mr. A said more tacos for him. That's his New Year's resolution: is more tacos.
But you know what, though?
What?
The tacos we started making in the big lettuce leaves are
They're
good.
They're not bad for you. Yeah, they're very low carb and stuff. And
So-
instead of using like a tortilla or a hard taco shell, we use a large.
I kind of
lettuce
like it
leaf.
better. I
Huh?
actually do like it better.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad, and it's much healthier for you. It still gives you kind of the crunch that you if you get the fresh lettuce and big large
Right.
lettuce leaves or whatever. It gives you the crunch you
So,
want.
more tacos.
Healthy
in my
tacos.
lettuce leaf.
Tacos are not a bad meal for you. They're really not that bad. They're pretty low carb and it's a lot of meat and stuff, so it's not that bad for you. But my goals for the show are separate from my New Year's resolution. I think I have a lot of shit I want to accomplish, and one of my New Year's, I guess you could say it's my New Year's resolution, is to ramp up some stuff on this show. I want to do graphic inserts on our live feeds. I want to do lots of different sounds and things like that. So I have a lot of work to do here. But my overall New Year's resolution is to lose about 12 more pounds. I want to lose about 12 to 15 more pounds and get really lean and get back to where I was before coronavirus.
Well, if I do that, my pants ain't about to fit.
I was killing it in the gym before coronavirus, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was killing it. I was looking at pictures. I was getting real swole. I mean, I was huge. I was started, I'm starting to get back now. I'm like 2 weeks into the process of getting back into it. But when coronavirus came, it shut me down. And I was like, ice cream is good. There was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
There was nothing else to do but eat junk food and sit around on my fat ass. Like I had to do something. But yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, is to lose about 15 more pounds and get toned and fit again like I was right before coronavirus hit. So I guess that's my overall New Year's resolution. And I'm not going to do that by eating more tacos. I'm not even going to respond to this criticism. El Majaro tortillas are the best. What kind of tortillas are those? Are those corn tortillas? Are those healthy? I don't know. I mean, because the way we've been eating them with the lettuce is pretty healthy. I feel like it's more healthy. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff in taco. You can eat tacos. It's not that
I think
bad.
Joanna's seen that on I don't know where she saw that. She's like, I'm going to bring tacos. And then she busts out these lettuce leaves. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah. The corn
That's
ones I
good.
get when I make, those are good. Those are good tortillas.
Carnitas are my
Those are the
ish.
corn ones. Yeah, those are pretty good. They're not good for you.
I'm going to eat them, though.
You're going to eat them? I thought your goal was to eat healthier.
Better than... You know what? If I just cut out fast food, I'll be all right.
So what's your, Mr. A, what's your for real New Year's resolution? You have to have one. Tanya, what's your New Year's resolution? Who's all in here? Who is that?
Where?
I don't know. Well, let me see it. I do not have one. What the fuck? Why don't you have a New Year's resolution? Man, I don't make that bullshit. You got to have a goal for 2021. You got to hold on to that resolution. You got to have goals. That's going to be my goal tonight, is to make you guys have goals for
Oh
your
my God,
2021.
stop it.
Look, when I started having goals, like last year, when I started doing this and I started listening and doing, it's changed. It really has changed my life for the better, because having goals and inspiring to do something every day, it does. It makes you feel guilty about shit that you shouldn't be doing, like eating chocolates or, you know what I mean? Like every time I have a sweet, I know in the back of my mind I shouldn't be doing it. It's not healthy for me, right? And it makes me focus on what I need to do.
Well, I quit smoking cigarettes, so that is a huge step in my life.
Good job. See, 2020 wasn't all that bad. You quit smoking cigarettes. I quit smoking cigarettes. We do vape though, so maybe we should make that part of our resolution. You're
Don't
not going to
push
stop
it.
vaping.
Don't push it. Don't push it.
They're not going to stop vaping.
No.
What about all the crack that we've been smoking?
Shut the fuck up.
I don't make that bullshit. He said she don't have one either. What is going on?
I mean,
I don't know. I guess a lot of people don't make New Year's resolutions. You know, New Year's resolutions are abandoned within the first 30 days.
right. So it's kind of like,
You got to stay
Who cares?
motivated. I'm motivated. I'm going to lose this 15 pounds. And when I do, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to post it all over Facebook to annoy people that didn't have a New Year's resolution.
oh my God.
Are we doing celebrity birthdays?
We can try.
Jeff Rogers is on the live studio in Facebook, and
Is
he
he
said
really?
his New Year's resolution is not
Oh my
dying.
God.
That is a good one.
It's not. Yeah, it is, but you know,
That's a good one. Not dying is a good New Year's resolution. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. That's should be fairly easy to accomplish, but I mean in
Hey,
today's
Dad.
world, it's you never know. I mean it could go all bad, especially in today's world. Tiny says stay away from people who make that shit right.
yeah.
Make what shit
The
right?
shit I was reading.
The what?
The shit I was reading. Yes, I did say that. To stop hanging around people
That make
who want to know what my New Year's resolution is.
Well, I mean, one last night. We're gonna party it up tonight before we stop hanging out forever. Your dad said, "Hey, he's watching you live on Facebook right now, and his New Year's resolution is to not die."
Yeah.
Somebody else creeping in his Facebook page too. If you're listening, what's your New Year's resolution? I want to know. I hate that it don't show me who's watching us on Facebook Live. I wish I could find a way to find that out. Anyways, thank you guys for joining. We would love to know your New Year's resolutions if you have any. Thank you guys for joining the live studio on Podbean and joining our show. We would love to have you guys come back one day. All right. Are we doing celebrity birthdays?
Sure.
Sure. I got to pull it up because I don't have it pulled up because I wasn't going to do it. And then he was like, there's nobody on it. And then I started noticing people on it. I'm like, yeah, there's people on it. There's people on celebrity birthdays. So I guess let's do celebrity birthdays. So the corn tortillas, we get 12 grams of carbs. Dietary fiber is 1 gram. So that's 11 grams of carbs, basically. Protein, 1 gram. I had to look it up. So basically you're getting about 10 grams of straight up carbs. Wait. 12 grams. Yeah, dietary fiber, 1 gram. That's not enough. That's not good for you. Yeah, that's not good for you.
They're so good.
They are good, though. Them tortillas, the corn tortillas. Everything that tastes good is bad for you, period. If it tastes good for you, it's fucking bad for you. Why does it have to be that way? Why is gluten so tasty? I love gluten. I don't even know what it is, but everything that has it, it tastes amazing. I could sit and eat, I'm hungry right now, but I'm like not going to go down there and eat. I got to eat something that's, high in protein, low in carbs. I can't eat no corn tortillas, even though it has one gram of dietary fiber. They are delicious though. All right, December 21st birthdays. You ready?
What did you just said December 21st.
Did I? I meant December 31st. December 31st birthday. These people were born, and our daughter was supposed to be born like December 31st or New Year's Day, wasn't it?
January 5th.
Yeah, but wasn't I trying to get it? And then we was like, well, let's not do it on New Year's Eve because we want to get that tax money.
You're
We want to
stupid.
get that earned income credit. You know what it is, Roy. All right, so Gabby Douglas is on here. I didn't even see her. She's a famous gymnast. She doesn't look right in that though. Psy, isn't he the Whip 'em Gundam style? That's him. Yep. Psy. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sexy lady. Womp, 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 womp. Yep.
Okay, well, backing up, Gabby Douglas is 25.
Gabby Douglas is 25 years old. Yep. She was a gymnast. My bad. I skipped right over her. She was big in the 2012 games. She's the little, short, tiny she's like really tiny. She was in a lot of commercials and stuff like that. She had her little short stint of fame, but she took the Olympic world by storm there for a minute. Donald Trump Jr.
He's 43.
43. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this guy because when he speaks,
Ugh.
I know, right? When he speaks, man, does he hammer some shit home, right? Like this man can talk, and he
Sharp.
has a lot of very good, strong opinions. So I don't know how to feel because I don't like people who are rich and who, I mean, I don't not like them. It's not like I don't like them. It's just I'm weary of them because they rub shoulders with the elitist. But he's fluent in Czech and he has siblings, blah, 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 blah. He's married to Vanessa Trump. I don't know. When I hear him talk, he makes a lot of sense to me. Like this guy could run for president. He probably might be our president one day. Who knows? You got anybody else? There were some other people on this list. John Denver would have had a birthday today. He died in 1997. The famous John Denver.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who John Denver is? Rocky Mountain High,
Oh, really?
Colorado. Yeah.
Oh,
Take
damn.
me home.
Damn, that's him.
Country roads.
Okay.
That's John Denver. You've heard that song a million times.
Yep.
Let's see here. Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins. He was knighted. He's a Welsh actor. He was in The Silence of the Lambs.
I know this lady. Donna Summer.
He was in Thor too. Who?
Donna Summer.
Donna
Where'd
Summer.
she go?
Donna Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Oh, damn. She's dead too.
famous for shit, ain't she?
Yeah.
Love to love you, baby. Ooh, love to love you.
She's dead. That's crazy.
Donna Summers would have been, I don't know, she died in 2012. She was born in 1948. Joey McIntyre from The New Kids on the Block. He's 48. Oh my God, the New Kids on the Block are pushing 50 now? My goodness. Teenage heartthrobs in the 90s. And now they are the first boy band. And now he's 48 years old. He is no longer the new kids. He's the new men on the block. They are the new men on the block.
Old men on the block.
Old men on the block. That's even better. Oh, man. Val Kilmer is 61. He was once Batman in 1995. Batman Forever. He also played Jim Morrison in that movie I told you about, The Doors, that you have to see. It's pretty wild. He's been in a lot of shit.
That's your lizard's name, ain't it?
Huh?
Ain't your lizard's name Jim Morrison or something?
Yes, that is not Val Kilmer. My lizard's name is named Jim Morrison. Who is that? That does not look like Val Kilmer at all. He was in Willow too. He looks fat in some of these pictures. You remember Willow? You don't remember the movie Willow? Oh, Jesus Christ. You need to get out more.
Right.
Do y'all remember the movie Willow? Do y'all remember that? I remember that. Wow, look how many people have entered the live studio on Podbean. Thank you, all of you guys, for joining us. Thank you guys for joining the show. Guess nobody has anything better to do on this New Year's Eve but listen to us. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. So, Val Kilmer, yes, you don't remember Willow. That's a shame. All right, who else we got?
Ben Kingsley.
Who?
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, yes. He was in Iron Man 3. Night at the Museum, and Schindler's List. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I remember him in Schindler's List. Yeah, okay. Yep, I know Ben Kingsley. How old is he today? 77 years old, Ben Kingsley. Wow. That's crazy. He's got two
His
feet
real
in the
name is
coffin.
Krishna Pandit
What?
Bani.
What are you reading?
His real name
What is his real
is
name?
Krishna Pandit
Bahanji?
Bani or something.
But he changed it to advance his acting career. Well, happy birthday, Ben Kingsley. 77 years old. And that's our celebrity birthdays for
Look,
today.
his
What else? What?
He's got a daughter named Yasmin.
Oh, he's got a daughter named Yasmin.
Look, that's my name right
and that's
there.
your middle name. Don't wear it out. Nobody remembers that movie. Why is Mr. A being a dick today? Everybody remembers that movie. What movie? What was I talking about?
Willow.
Willow. Everybody remembers Willow. Willow was a good movie. Used to call. I remember Willow with the little midget people. They were hobbits. I don't even know if they were hobbits. They were just little people, and they had the wizard. They had to go save the human baby that washed up to shore. Everybody remembers Willow. I remember Willow. I used to like Willow as a movie. Maybe I'm just I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm just a big ass nerd.
This is it? Oh, yeah, I do. I do know. That.
Yeah, see, now
Yeah.
you know. Now you know, now that you've seen Willow. And he used to call him Peck. He's like, come here, Peck. Now you remember Willow. Now that you've seen the large-headed midget on
Yeah.
TV, on your computer screen. Do we have anything else?
No.
I think that's it. This is our last show for 2020, and I hope to come back better in 2021. We won't be on tomorrow. We will be on Monday for our Just Another Day in Paradise show. Be on the lookout for Penny for your thoughts. Moving into 2021, a lot of changes on this show. I'm hoping to have a lot of different new graphics and things like that. Try to expand our audience and grow a little bit and get a little bit better. But so far, for us, year in review on this show, 2020 has been pretty good to us. We started this year back in May. I don't know. I want to say May. April, May is when we started when I started the show or whatever. We was getting, only Roy listened to us, basically. Only Roy and Tanya ever listened or looked at our Facebook pages.
I know, and he doesn't even like us.
He doesn't even like us for real.
He's just prepping
back,
for tonight.
But back then, I only had 2 fans. Like, I only had 2 people that were listening and watching, and I only had like a handful of people. I didn't even have enough Facebook followers to create my own Facebook, @ name where people could find me or whatever. And now we are over like 400 or whatever, 300 and something people on Facebook. We have a Facebook group has grown quite a bit. Our page has grown quite a bit. We have a website up. We have blogs being written. We have every day we're Facebook Live. Every video pulls up around 100 views. Tiana's video, by the way, is over the 1,000 threshold. Mm-hmm. It's 1.1 thousand views, which is pretty cool. We have a couple posts with 10,000, 20,000 views and things. Our people reach is up into the tens of thousands. That's the point I'm trying to make here. We have over 1,500 downloads on Podbean, and when we started this thing, I had 2 people that listened to me. I was on Podbean, I was on a laptop, and I had 1 mic, and now here we are doing live feeds, pulling hundreds of views. Thousands of people were watching us every day, going to our Facebook pages and our YouTube pages and things like that. And it's really, really awesome. So huge amounts of growth over the last year for us. The 2020 has been good to us in that respect. And 2021 can only be better, and we can only grow from here. So I really appreciate all you guys out there, especially you guys who stuck with me from the very, very beginning, even when this show was horrible, it was boring, it was awful. And I just basically rambled for an hour to what we've turned into now and what we're going to turn into in the future, because my big goal for this show is to make it more visually presenting. I probably stay on Podbean, but I'm almost transitioning into the live stream thing, and I want to have a more visually presenting show with graphics and things that come up into our segments and make it a big thing. And, I have ideas.
Right, and now you won't even do a show without me.
What is it?
I said, and now you won't even do a show without me.
Well, I mean, I can't now because we're co-hosts. You're part of it now. You're embedded into it. You're like...
you can.
You're like herpes. I can't get rid of you.
Wow.
No, but I mean, no, because it just doesn't work, because now this is what we are now. This is what we are, Just Another Day in Paradise. I still haven't got my damn t-shirt, so I can't quit listening. He's not allowed to. He said I can quit listening.
So can I?
No, it says so I can quit listening. No, he's not going to quit listening because he's going to wait till his t-shirt before he does. T-shirts are coming. I have some ideas, but I have a bigger idea that I was thinking about yesterday. I don't want to talk about it too much. Well, I'm bringing Pogs back. I have a very strategic plan to bring Pogs back. I have I was doing all the work yesterday before I fucking, just passed out and was like out of it for the rest of the night or whatever. But I have a plan yesterday, right after the show, to bring Pogs back. But that's not here nor there. I got to move on. I'm getting out of here. Let's go. You ready?
Yep.
So it's been a horrible 2020 for the most part. I mean, we've kind of grown. We've done good. Let's make 2021 our year, a positive year. Put a positive spin on everything. We'll be all right. We'll get through it, and we'll get through it together. Thank you guys for checking out the show today, our last show of the year. Thank you guys for spending your entire year with me every time we go on every day. We really appreciate it. And thank you guys for sticking with us through 2021. I cannot wait to see you guys next year. On Monday, we'll be back. We will be back at noon. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show today. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Be safe out there on New Year's Eve. Make sure you celebrate the right way. Party hardy and just let loose. Let's get rid of this year.